Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Drives. Now today it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about the 147 GTA. I recently took this car on track at Hampton Downs, which is a local track close to Auckland, and I had a really great time. These days, you know, they make you do a bit of an induction just to make sure that you can drive around the track and make sure that you know what you're doing, which is on the Hampton Downs club circuit. And the goal really is to do my induction and then I'll be able to drive on the national circuit with my Lotus Exige, which hopefully I'll be able to show you in the future as well. So yeah, the car was great. Everything went really well. You know, I actually, this is my second attempt at doing the induction because the first time around it actually got fogged out. It's pretty much the only reason why they would cancel the day is if there's a lot of fog and they can't really see what's happening around the track. But second time around, it was absolutely fantastic. Had a great day, and I can thoroughly recommend taking your car on track. You don't have to really go too fast. You know, you can just have a bit of fun and just kind of experience the car, experience you know, whatever car you have on the limit, which is pretty cool as well. So yeah, join me for the adventure with the 147 GTA at Hampton Downs. Just before I show you some of the videos of the track day, check out this incredible looking V6 from Alfa Romeo. This is called the Busso V6, and it is widely regarded to be one of the best V6s in the whole world because of its really characterful noise, its really amazing torque all the way from low down, how smooth it is in the power delivery, and also how long it's lasted as well, because this was actually a 70s design, and it was designed to go into the GT-V6 and subsequent cars after that, such as the 164, the 156, and then the 147, which is my car. So it is quite a special engine. They don't make this engine anymore, so there's only a limited number of them left, and it's really amazing on a track day as well. The sound that it makes is incredible. It's super exciting, and it just loves to rev. So again, enjoy this video and enjoy listening to this amazing Italian V6 sing. So here are some photos from the first time that I tried to go to this track day. As you can see, it was actually really foggy and it didn't really clear up at all until probably after 1 o'clock, so it wasn't really worth running the track day. And unfortunately my friend George actually came along to support me as well, but in the end everyone just had to go home. But that's the way it goes sometimes, you know, you can't really predict the weather and you can't really beat the weather, so we decided to head home. So second time around was a lot more successful. I was just mostly there on my own, but that's okay because I was already pretty familiar with track days at this point. Got all my equipment. It was actually the first time I was using my helmet and race overalls as well, so it was a really good test of all that equipment as well. And I also found some Lotuses during these couple of track days as well, which is really cool. Seeing some of these Lotuses actually being driven on track, which gives me a little bit more motivation to take my own Lotus on track. So what they do in these sessions is basically just get you to drive around in sort of groups for about 10 to 15 minutes. But because there weren't actually very many people at this particular track day, they decided just to do an open circuit track day, so you could go out pretty much for as long as you wanted to and then come back in whenever you wanted to, and there were only a few cars on track at a time even with this format, so we actually managed to get quite a lot of track time, which is pretty cool. Now the club circuit is pretty short. It is only around about a 40 to 45 second lap. So it's pretty small, but it's good enough that you can get some speed up. I think my top speed down the main straight was around about 160, so you know, you can still get a pretty decent amount of speed. And of course you get to enjoy your car in the safety of a track, and there's no speed limits, so you can pretty much go as fast as you like, as long as you stay within your own abilities and your car's limits. Now, as you can see, the track is actually half dry, half wet for the first stint. So I took it pretty easy with the GTA. The other problem was my brakes are actually really shot. I think probably from a previous track day at Pukekohe, which is a much more demanding circuit. I'm pretty sure I've warped my discs, which is pretty normal for 305mm 147 GTA brakes. I do have the 330mm brakes coming for the car. I just need to do a bit of a rebuild and a bit of maintenance on those brakes because they are second-hand, and then I should be ready for the next track day in the GTA. Now, I'm also not really sure how accurate the RPM count is on the overlays here. I could not connect to my OBD scanner during this track day. I'm not really sure why. I need to investigate that. But yeah, everything else should be accurate, but maybe take the RPM with a grain of salt because I have no idea how Race Chrono managed to figure that out. So this was the best lap in the first session, and it was a 49-second lap, and the reason was mostly because it was still half dry, half wet. So I was taking it pretty easy and also learning the track and learning how to drive the car through this track. I also, obviously had really poor brakes because of the discs being warped, so I had quite a lot of brake shudder as well, which didn't really help. In fact, I even had trouble getting into second gear during the braking zones. Alright, and then on to the second session. So the second session, the track really started to dry a lot more, which was great. That meant that I had a lot more grip, and I was able to lower my tire pressures a little bit. And here is the best lap from the second session, which was a 46.5, and I'm quite proud of that improvement. From 49 seconds to 46.5, that's definitely quite a big jump. So enjoy the lap. Now, I actually did 6 sessions on the club circuit that day, so I definitely felt like I got my money's worth, and probably a total of just over an hour of driving on the track, so that's pretty awesome. And my best time, which was in the last session, the 6th session, was a 45.26. Now I did not record that, unfortunately. Murphy's Law, you know, you never record the best time or the best run that you did, unfortunately. But just, yeah, believe me, in the race chrono session, it shows that it's 45.26, and I'm pretty pleased with that, especially considering, you know, it's pretty much a stock car. I haven't done any performance upgrades. I've mainly just done maintenance and making sure that it's actually running properly, and all the suspension bushes and everything, that's all been refreshed. But it's just running factory suspension. It's running Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres, so nothing too crazy. And I haven't done anything to the engine performance-wise. I've just mainly made it reliable and actually work. So I'm pretty proud of that and pretty pleased with that. Now I will also be taking this car to a Pukekohe track day later on in the year, and that is going to be one of the last times that anyone will actually be able to drive at Pukekohe, because that track is closing down, unfortunately. There's a lot of history with that track, so it is a bit of a shame. But yeah, please stay tuned, like and subscribe the videos, and if you subscribe, then you'll be able to see the 147 GTA go around Pukekohe one last time. Alright, awesome. Thank you everyone, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate your support. Frank and I are really committed to making this channel as best as it can be. So please stay tuned, and we'll be continuing to provide you with amazing car content. See you next time.